long time no video. I am having surgery in 3 days, Monday, the 25th of September, 2023. I have at minimum 2 strictures that we know about that I have been putting off since 2021 to get resected, well, at least one of them. One's in my ilium, the other one is in my jejunum. And then there's areas of intestine that are like ballooning and stretching and possibly could burst because of the pressure of the strictures. So at least one side is probably going to be taken out, and then maybe the other. The surgeon said that once he goes in there, he's going to check the intestines and see what else might need to be taken out. So that's all in my small intestine. As of right now, my colon is fine, but I will probably be getting a colonoscopy next year to be sure, because I have also been experiencing some rectal pain that I've not told my doctor about yet. But I do have a consult with a new GI in November, just because the biologics that I've been on have not been working. Case in point, every time I'm on these biologics, my albumin levels go down, my inflammation markers go up. And then as soon as I'm off of them for a few weeks, my inflammation markers go down, my albumin goes up. So the inflammation seems to get worse on the biologics. So I've been on Stelara, Humira, and Entyvio, and I'm not particularly too keen to keep trying with these biologics because they just cause me a lot of stress. They're not good for my health. It's just bad. My voice, I do have a cold right now, which I'm hoping clears up by Monday. So far it's been getting better each day, so hopefully that doesn't impact my ability to get surgery on Monday. But what I did for myself, I am a dietitian, but when you have surgery yourself, it's kind of different. So I printed off from a Toronto hospital, because I trust Canada more than the US, what to eat and drink after gastrointestinal surgery. You know, and of course I know I'm going to start with clear liquids and then full liquids, and then I can start eating I have to eat regular foods before I can be discharged, and I know that's going to be low fiber. My big question is, how long am I going to be on low fiber, because I am anxious to start eating fiber foods to help my microbiome and my intestines stay healthy so that the disease doesn't rebound quickly, especially if I'm not going to be on a biologic. All right, and so additionally with that is I want to start following some form of a Crohn's disease diet that has been studied. My thing with these diets, a couple years ago, I was very gung-ho about them. The very, very strict version of these diets. However, over the past 2 to 3 years, I've tried to stick to them, and I really struggle with that. And the reality is, I don't think it has to be 100% strictness, and I'm going to mix and match a couple of things. So the Crohn's disease exclusion diet, I'm very well versed in. Probably if you've seen other videos on my channel, you know how well I know this diet. I'm going to start with phase 1 of that, and as I'm able to eat more fiber as my intestines heal, I'm going to incorporate the IBD-aid diet. So I want to be able to eat like oats. Rice is allowed on CDED. Oats are allowed on IBD-aid. Oats are allowed on CDED, but later, in a later phase. And then as time progresses, I'm going to incorporate sourdough bread. I found out Aldi's sells a sourdough bread, which is perfect, because other than that, I didn't have anything around me that had sourdough, and I've tried making it, and it's disgusting. So just the smell of like the starter, I couldn't do it. So I probably won't be eating like fruits and vegetables to start off with. I might do some fresh juices, like CDED allows fresh squeezed orange juice, you know, or maybe juicing, because I was doing that for a little while, like carrots and apples and spinach. Start with that. I know I've seen people eating like bananas right after surgery, like while still in the hospital. So if that is deemed okay, then I will eat bananas. However, my Viome results that I did like 5 or 6 months ago now, said that banana was good for me to limit. So I don't know if it's something that I will do every day like the CDED recommends. I might find a different fiber source. Apples, once I can eat those, will definitely be a go-to. Potatoes, I'm supposed to limit per my Viome results, but potatoes are a daily thing on CDED. Knowing myself, I've always struggled tolerating potatoes, even before Crohn's, like years before Crohn's. Every time I'd eat a stew, like it was like a beef stew, usually with potatoes, carrots, and beef, I would have like stomach cramping. And I thought maybe it was like the warmth. However, this also happened with chili too. So it's something about that type of fiber. It's in beans and I think potatoes that my system has never reacted well with. Anytime I've tried to go like super healthy, my stomach has cramped. So I want to do this gradually, get my system used to it, and don't push the things that I know my stomach won't tolerate. So what I'm looking at, because I keep looking down, right? The food list for IBD Aid. So I printed off the food list for IBD Aid. I printed off the cheat sheet for phase 1, even though I could do this in my sleep. It's nice to have the visual. And then I printed off on the Canada one, it says, you know, once I can eat regular food, small portions, 6 meals a day, which is what I've been doing anyway because of strictures. Eat slowly, chew your food well, also been doing that. Drink plenty of fluids each day, always do that, and then have a protein every time I eat, which I'm going to keep drinking Ensure as I heal because I know that the vitamins, minerals, and protein in that will be helpful. I know Ensure is always a hot topic among people with Crohn's disease, but it is anti-inflammatory. It's the studies that have been done on it have proved that drinking it lowers inflammation. So I don't care what you say about sugar, I don't care what you say about additives, whatever. It proves that it lowers inflammation, okay? Also, it helps with healing, which is what's going to be needed after surgery. I am worried about adhesions, I'm worried about leaking, I'm worried about all of the complications that could happen. But the only way that I can turn my diet around is to get rid of these strictures and just hope that I can go back to some sort of normalcy. Now, with that normalcy, I also have to face the fact that I am a foodie. I am a junk food foodie. And even leading up to the surgery has proven that that has been very challenging for me. I had to take a week off work before the surgery because the week before that, work got so stressful that I started binging again. And